What's inside of here? Inquiring minds want to know.
Today we're packing for a motorcycle camping trip.
Now we're going to pack my motorcycle. First thing I need to do is I need to add a sissy bar. So I've got a one-piece sissy bar and rack, and it's got a quick connect that just slides on. It hooks to each of these. So I have it positioned in place, and then I just pull this back, push it down with my upper body. But make sure you check it. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. That one's on nice and tight. I just like to store these straps right here, but what they're for my clothes bag. So the basics, I like to start with the tarp because you can use it either to cover your motorcycle if you need to. Sometimes I bring a motorcycle cover depending on where I'm going and what the weather conditions are going to be. You know, I have used it to create shade. Sometimes I'll go to a place and it just doesn't have enough shade for me. Using this and some rope, just a tarp. There's so many uses and they're so versatile and it's so easy to bring it along. So I always bring along a cooler. This one I really like because it's very compact, and I just set it down. There we go. I also like to bring a chair. I normally just throw that into my saddlebag. Now my dry bag that contains all of my camping gear. It's got my tent. It's got everything that I need to set up tent on the road. So there are so many options for securing things to your motorcycles, but what I have found that I like the best is just a cargo net. So it takes a minute to get it untangled, but it's one piece, and I always carry a spare on my motorcycle, but it makes it so easy to set up and to take apart. And for me, I feel really comfortable using this. I like to wrap it around my seat in the front just for added extra protection. Unlike everything else, I mean, just make sure it's really on there. Make sure it's not gonna go anywhere, that it's on nice and tight. As a rule of thumb, when you pack your motorcycle the first time, you should take it on a test ride just to make sure that the weight distribution is right, make sure that nothing falls off or shifts. So take it on a ride at least up to highway speeds, hit some curves, and make sure that you're gonna be okay on your trip. This is something that I bring on all camping trips, and I like to actually open it up and put it on the back of my bike. What this is, it is a solar charger bank. So it stores the energy. It's actually a lantern and a light and an emergency light. It allows me to charge anything that has a USB or one of those other connectors. So it gives me power when I'm camping. I like to strap it up underneath here, get it charged. So just make sure it's nice and secure. So when I go on long trips, even if I'm not camping, if I'm going with other people, typically I will bring my sissy bar, but I like to have it in case someone else has a problem with their motorcycle. They can ride on my back without having to hold on. It allows them to have back support and a little more protection if I did need to give a friend a ride. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm attaching these straps. These straps are designed for my tail bag, and the tail bag allows me to bring along extra clothing, and it just snaps right in, just snaps in. It's nice and tight. Give it a shake again, make sure it's not going to fall off, and that's perfect. What I like about this bag is that it has a rain cover. I don't want a completely waterproof bag because I want it to be able to breathe. But when it rains, all I have to do is just stop and cover it up. And when I go into restaurants to stop, or when I go into the gas station, I'll just cover it up really quickly just to make it less conspicuous. When you arrive at the campsite, first thing that you want to do is just take off your tail bag. All you have to do is just unsnap all the snaps, and then that is gone. One thing that I really like about this sissy bar setup is it just really quickly, I can dismount it, and there we go. I can either start setting up my tent, or I can go for a ride, and I'm lean and mean. I love to ride in the mountains, and I do it quite often, and so there are a few things that I always carry on my motorcycle that I use on my camping trip, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you them. I always carry a quick setup hammock. It allows me, when I'm up in the Blue Ridge, if I see a couple of really pretty trees, just to put them out and enjoy the day for a little bit, but I always bring a hammock. Also, always bring a pillow. And the reason is I do a lot of long distance trips, and if I'm just, really tired and I just need a few minutes, put the pillow up on my tank, and then I'm really comfortable. I can just rest a little bit. I can rest my feet, get them up, take a little nap, and I'm really comfortable. So I always have a pillow on my bike for that purpose. And this is something else that I always carry on my motorcycle as well. It is a metal puck that creates a sturdy place for me to put my kickstand down. Because if I'm pulling into either gravel or mud, especially if it's raining, I don't want my kickstand to sink all the way down and possibly drop my bike just because I don't have sturdy ground to stand on. So this is important, and I added a string. I want to show you why. To use it, you put it down on the ground, and then you slide it over where it needs to go. All right, so there we go. So when you're done and you're ready to go, all you have to do is lean your bike up, and I'm able to pull it up, just like fishing. Another handy trick that's really important with this, double bagging it. Because a lot of times this will get muddy and nasty and you're picking it up literally out of the mud. If you put it inside of one bag, then you can put it in another. I keep it in the bag with my helmet lock. This allows me to lock my helmet on my bike and walk away from it. But this is just really important, double bagging this. Again, I've learned, because I made the mistake of a muddy puck in my bag, so no more. What's inside of here? Inquiring minds want to know, because I have managed to get about 30 pounds of stuff into a 20-pound bag. I have a lantern. It's a solar lantern that I can use on my campsite. My sleeping bag, this is a 3-season sleeping bag. I have a different one that I use just for winter. Rope for the tarp in the shade, or possibly a tow rope if needed. Fire starter log. Sleeping pad that does not require an extra pump because the bag is actually used to pump it. But this pad goes underneath my sleeping bag to make sure that I'm off the ground and I don't have the cold from the ground. So it's really, really important to insulate you in your sleep to make sure that you have a good sleeping pad. Something that I carry with me that I have not yet had to use, which hopefully I won't have to, it's a life straw in case I need to find water in an emergency. I've got a cooking stove. It's got all the utensils. It's got forks and knives. It's got pans, and my tent. This bag also can be used while I'm camping. It can be used to wash clothes. I can put some water in there, some environmentally friendly soap detergent. Shake it all up, rinse it out. I can use that on the fly or just use it if I need to store anything. I like to keep all of my camping gear in here. I just feel like it's a nice, quick, secure way to have everything. This is my gear. I could go out on the road indefinitely with this setup. I'm very comfortable that I have everything that I need. I'm really excited, so thank you so much and enjoy your trip. Like and subscribe, ring the bell. I believe in gear shifting gratitude, and I'm here to share it with you.